check the visibility to see how heavy the snow is falling. The lower the visibility, the heavier the snow is falling across the area. So visibility down to a quarter of a mile in many locations. The next aspect you need is wind up around in excess of 35 miles per hour, either as a sustained wind or a wind gust. New York City not meeting that parameter. Out in West Hampton, this is the first hour where we've seen blizzard conditions. It needs to continue for 3 hours now for it to be an actual blizzard. We'll keep you on top of that. Next big issue, wind chills overnight tonight, ranging between 5 below to 15 below. I suspect wind chill advisories will be put out for that. Temperatures brutal out there. I'll run for
to about 4 to about 8 inches of snow at this point. I don't do traffic, by the way. I actually do the weather. So if you throw up the weather graphics behind me, I'll be able to show you what's happened. There we go. Temperatures, that's the next big thing out there. And it's going to be huge because overnight tonight below 0 across the board with the wind chill. Right now, it is tough enough. It's 5 in Montgomery, and this is why you have the very light fluffy snow, which on a positive note is easier to shovel than the heavy wet snow, which is kind of backbreaking. 11 in the city, 12 in Belmar, 12 in Islip, 14 for West Hampton. The winds out there, look at the sustained wind speed, not the wind gusts. We've seen the wind gusts up around the mid-30s, mid-20s in the city, but the sustained wind in New York City at this point, 13 miles per hour, 20 for Islip, 21 Bridgeport. Notice how it is windier out on Long Island, which is why we anticipate, and I think probably around 9, 10 o'clock you might have a ground blizzard. At this point, we've had 1 hour in West Hampton with blizzard conditions. You need it for 3 hours for it to be an actual blizzard. In West Belmar right now, sustained wind at 17 miles per hour. Here it is. If it's not enough that you don't want to go outside because of the snow, try the cold. 6 below the wind chill. Go outside? I don't think so. 6 below in Islip, 9 below in Newburgh. As the day progresses, this is going to continue to get worse. The next big problem will be the brutal cold air coming in. Live radar pictures, snow covering the area. Starting to lighten up, by the way, in the western suburbs. So it's getting a little bit better in our western suburbs, but still continuing heavy at this point out on Long Island. I think in New York City around 10 or 11 o'clock, the snowfall will stop. However, at that point, the winds are going to...
New York City, but at that point we're going to be dealing with blowing and drifting snow. That's going to continue to be an issue at least until noontime. This afternoon the wind dies down and things will calm down, but it's brutally cold overnight. A lot of eyes on how much snow we've seen so far. We're going to continue to add to this. This was in Central Park, 5 inches of snow so far. Queens, you're at a little bit more than 5. Yonkers, 3 inches. We're continuing to add to these totals. They just continually update all the time, so we're trying to keep you updated on this. New Jersey, you're looking at Paramus, 8 inches of snow. Flemington's at 6 inches in Connecticut as well. Generally around 3 to 6 inches of snow so far. New Canaan at 3 inches. Milford at 6.5. By 9 or 10 o'clock this morning, we'll be able to give you some real specific updates on that. The wind chill, this is the big news throughout the day today. Wind chill this afternoon at 11 throughout the day today, ranging from around 10 below to 20 below. Have the cold air in place, and that's how you get a blizzard conditions or blizzard-like conditions in and around New York City and blizzard conditions out on Long Island. Because of the strong winds and the heavy snow, we do have the blizzard warning, which actually goes into effect later today, late this afternoon into the evening hours. For the most part, you can think of the blizzard overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, near blizzard-like in New York City. I think at times this could even be a ground blizzard, and that's just because the snow is very light and powdery, not that heavy wet snow. You get the light powdery snow, you get the strong gusty winds, and you get the blowing and drifting. So at times this could be a ground blizzard. Winter storm warning covering much of the rest of the region. You can see the snow right now starting in New York City, a little bit of light snow. We've had a couple of flurries. Main piece of energy, this is our main storm. This is our coastal low in a second, but it's pulling up the energy from this storm. So you've got a low here and one here, and basically they're going to merge as a major coastal storm right off the Atlantic coast during the next several hours. So we're looking at snow all day today, the heavy snow. To answer your question, I'd actually give a pass on both. If you are headed into work today, the earlier you can leave, obviously the better. But you're going to have to get stuff done and prepared for tomorrow, because a lot of folks on Long Island not going to be able to get around at all during the overnight hours Thursday night into Friday, and it's going to take a while on Friday to clear those roads, so it mightn't be a bad idea if you're out on Long Island. If you're coming in from New Jersey, upstate New York, I think you're okay. Just leave before 4 if you can. The roads will be a nightmare. Downtown temperature, and Julie gets to do that. Downtown temperatures at 26, uptown Bronx 27, Brooklyn you're at 26, Queens, the airports, it's going to be a nightmare the next couple of days. Even in the teens and the 20s right now, north and west, very close to 30 degrees, so it's starting out as a heavy wet snow, but as the cold air invades, it's going to become very light and fluffy and powdery. The big problem is going to occur overnight tonight with the heavy snow, but not only the snow, strong gusty winds. That's how you get a blizzard, not just the snow falling. You've got to have the winds. Sustained winds now 10 to about 15, so not a big deal right now. Wanted to hit some times when it will be particularly critical across our area. Wind gusts, noontime today in New York City. So even by noontime, we're going to start to see those wind gusts up around 34, 35 in the city, 35 to 40 miles per hour out on Long Island. Towards the evening commute, wind gusts in the city, 35 to 40. Midnight tonight, that's when I think, you know, overnight tonight, the timing is at least good in the sense that not a lot of people are trying to get around because the peak of the storm is overnight tonight, wind gusts. Meteorologist Linda Church, just want to run down the latest for you on what you can expect from the snowstorm. Really gets underway overnight tonight into heavy snow with blizzard conditions out on Long Island, very close to blizzard conditions in New York. Very tough next 24-hour period with the heavy snow overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. Boy, is it chilly out there this morning. 27 in the city, 19 Montgomery, 21 Andover, 34 Belmar, 29 for ice is the one off to the west. We're going to see both of these systems merge right about here overnight tonight, and then the storm just becomes incredibly powerful. That's how you get the heavy snow. Obviously, the heaviest snow east of the city because that will be closer to the center of low pressure, which will track off in this direction. We already have the cold air in place, so it's snow across the board, so the closer to the Connecticut. And then tomorrow morning, brutally cold, strong gusty winds, blowing and drifting snow. Certainly not a good idea to try to commute at all tomorrow morning. If you can work from home, that's the best way, and I'm guessing most of the schools will be closed. In New York City.
So Jimmy Kimmel likes to do the censored version of the news because, you know, sometimes people slip, they say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Here's what happens to some news folk. When
Here said he can't have his cheese dip at the Super Bowl.
Well, you're compelled to do this every day. I get paid to do this.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do it if I didn't get paid.
Exactly. Guys, I can attest to the fact that it is brutally cold here.
55 on Saturday. This is unbelievable. Mother, make up your mind.
Yes, Linda, what did he say? He said, Mother Nature, make up your mind.
Wow. Very nice.
But that's the joke. They're so good at adding those obliques, it sounds like they say something else.
Just like that.
And now Scott can say he was on Kimmel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is what I would do. I mean, put it on my resume.
Right.
Kimmel and I are close.
I'm just loving this red sandwich, by the way, that I'm in. So let me talk about my table talk. Let me just get my glasses on.
Please don't.
I borrowed from my They really get me going here. So this is a story about a mascot. What are you saying?
You're never going to get anything wearing those glasses.
Thank you for these
looking
mics.
out for you.
So this is about the San Antonio Spurs. Take a look. The Houston Rockets, they have nothing on the San Antonio Spurs. They had a bear set up in the lobby, this very tall mascot there. He's scaring people. He's scaring the basketball players as they come out. Now, it seems to have worked. He got everyone who walked out. He scared each and every one of them. Here comes the
Being scared makes you angry.
It's like an anger. I mean, you might have to bleep me, like Kimmel style. If you
Kimmel
scare
style
me,
bleep?
I will take you.
Okay.
I'm gonna calm myself.
Good to know. Thank you so much. Love the look, Dan.
Thank you.
We got to tell you about celebrity taste.